in terms of whether it is a legal requirement, basically, it sounds like we're talking, it's a bit contradictory. We say, yes, you have to carry out your checks, but it's not in the law. So you will not be breaking the law if you don't carry out a right to work check. It's not a criminal offense not to do it, but you carry the full risk of a civil penalty, like we've discussed earlier. Also, if you are very selective in terms of you don't carry out a right to work check across the board, all your employees, you're just selective as to who you check, then you're open to a possible discrimination claim being brought against the company. So you have to be very, very careful. Like I said earlier, you can take a commercial approach in some cases. It's not something that I would advise that you do on a regular basis. As a belt and braces, try not to take commercial approach, but you might find yourself in a situation where you don't have a choice. You have to, you don't have a sponsorship license, and you have been presented with good documents, relevant documents, and that satisfies you that the person do have the right to work check, or they have submitted an application or things like that, and you decide to take a commercial approach and take the risk because the risk is remote to your opinion, or you have sought legal advice. So this is possible. But again, if you do have a sponsor license, it is your duty to make sure that you carry out the right to work check as per the Home Office guidance on all employees. And they would expect, if you're audited, the Home Office would expect you to have carried out the check as prescribed by them, without discriminating as well. So that is another area that if you're unsure or you're going through a tricky situation, get in touch with me, because I can't stress enough the importance of being always very careful not to discriminate, and it can happen. So you have to be really careful or be perceived as discriminating. So that's a very important one. And if you can say, oh, I don't have a license, I'm fine, I can always take a commercial approach. And there's a shortage of staff, and with Brexit as well. So some companies do actually are thinking about applying for a sponsor license. So in the future, and they're starting to realize that actually we didn't think we would have to sponsor for nationals, but now it's starting to be a need because there's a shortage, depending on the skill level, obviously. Then when you apply for a sponsorship license, the Home Office will want to, well, you need to be prepared that the Home Office may want to carry out an audit before granting you a license, and they will want to make sure that your HR processes are up to scratch and that your house is in order, and they will look at right to work checks. So so that is always something that you need to bear in mind. I would say in every very exceptional circumstances, I have advised clients that it was up to them to decide whether to take a commercial approach or not.